G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. It's been quite a while since I've said that. How you guys doing? Long time no see. I know you guys have been watching plenty of the Outback Octagon. Obviously, I've been enjoying it a lot as well, but I felt like it was time to get back into some 1v1, the good old-fashioned stuff. So, we're going to be taking a look at the Road to Red Bull Wololo Legacy. That is correct. And we are in the final stages of the first month of this event, which means that we're towards that end, the point that starts to matter, where we start getting these big names clashing up against each other. And there are no bigger names than Casper, who spawns in on the south side of the map, playing as the Deli. His opponent, who spawns towards the north side of the map, playing as the Mongols. We've got Wham01. Now, this is a best of 5 series. We're going to be starting it out on Dry Arabia. Not the best spawn up here for Wham on the Mongols. Interestingly, we got the one villager here on the berries. He built the Uvu with it, dropped the villager off at the berries to bring it back in with 10 food. Forgot to retask it, so she's going to come back out here a couple more times. I take it back. Ignore me. He drops down a barracks immediately. So it's not a forgetful thing. 100% intentional and exactly what you'd expect at this level. Look, other than that, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, because I'll be honest with you guys, it's been quite a while. I've been out of the meta ever since they announced that they were going to change China. And I know it sucks, but it's the truth. Ever since they announced they were going to change China, I'm just like, well, why am I even playing? Why am I like, China's just going to become like the worst civilization by far. Like, I'm not even kidding you. It's just going to be terrible. So it's like, I don't even see any incentive to play. I was going to play France for a little bit, but I'm like, even France is just boring for me. I just want to play China. Oh, man. But I'm looking forward. Maybe we'll see some China today. Maybe we'll see some barbecue rushes coming out. You guys know I love to see a good little barbecue rush, but it ain't going to be on this game. We've got the Delhi, we've got the Mongols. So let's talk a little bit about what we expect to happen here. As the first villager comes out, she actually runs into a wolf. That's really unfortunate timing there as well. So one of the things that you will see players look to do is look to clear their run. So basically, you know, you be running out here. One of the things that players will do is look to attack, move across here, just so that this doesn't happen. Because now the delay, the outpost has been delayed. So think about, you know, maybe 15, 20 seconds that it's been delayed so far by Casper. So nice little opening for him there. A good little thing, or a good little opening. And you got to remember, when it comes to these matchups, when you're playing as the Mongols, ideally for the Mongols, you want everything to go perfectly. If everything goes perfectly for you as the Mongols, you're going to be in a great position. If things start to go wrong, like this, where it's been delayed slightly, that's when it becomes a bit more of an issue. Now, I'm going to be doing the entire series. Oh my lord. Oh, my lord. Oh, jeez. Now, I'm going to be doing the entire series between these guys. Now, it's going to be a best of 5, so it could be 3 games, it could be 5 games, or it could be 4 games, or depending on Wham's internet, it could be 1 game. As you guys know, Wham, he's a big trader, but he's also unfortunately a big dropper as well. He does occasionally drop, rushes up a nice little wall back there. But already you can see that this is a bit of a victory right here for Wham at these early stages in the game, forcing Casper to make a wall. So just forcing him to make the wall. Obviously there's idle time that comes in here, but in addition to there being idle time, there's also the wood that's lost here, and it means that now you've got to change up the build order. But speaking of changing up the build order, take a look at the amount of sheep we've got over here. We've got a total of 14 sheep. Keep in mind, there are 24 sheep out on the map, so 14 sheep, you're getting a pretty decent percentage of them now. Looks like for the moment, villager is going to be forced back, double scout coming out. They're going to be careful not to trade into those spearmen, and you can see one of those scouts down to 11 health there. Khan might look to go after it and chase it down. But another wolf going to be pulled in here. Looks like the scout just going to be turning his attention. So I guess the question is, at this point in time, you know, how does the Delhi look to react to it? Now, one of the ways that I'm familiar that the Delhi can look to react to this is, now that we're in the transition period, you can see we've got 5 villagers on the 5 villagers looking to age up. So you're going to go heavy onto wood. This is going to be a really big factor. Heavy onto wood. As soon as you age up, stable as well as archery range. Couple of archers out. You only need 3 or 4. And then a whole bunch of scouts. And then you're going to look to push down these outposts and then look to move into professional scouts, because you do get it for free. Takes a little bit longer, but you do get it for free. So that's typically the way that you would look to play this matchup with the Delhi. But remember, as I said, I've been out of the meta for a while, so I'm looking forward to coming back and seeing exactly what the top level is going. And Villager almost going down there. We can see it look to take a lot of arrows here. I think there were 5 villagers that did jump inside it. Now Villager's going to get pulled. Looking to try and take out that Villager. If they get their stabs off, this could be the end of the tower rush, and indeed it is. And with that, I'd almost be hesitant to say that, you know, we don't even need to see a stable or an archery range here. You won't need to see an archery range, maybe to clean up these spearmen, but the stable will more than capably clean this up. But this is a great little victory at this early stage in the game. Getting that villager as well, very big, but at the same time losing a villager. So a bit of a 1-for-1. Actually, it was a second villager that went down as well. So unfortunate little opening there for Casva, losing those villagers. Ideally, you want to avoid that. Now we do begin to see Casva. He's researching survival techniques. Let's watch to see what he switches it into. Could be going into horticulture, could just stick on survival techniques, or could just look to move into professional scouts. But now we start to see those techs starting to come through. It's going to be double broad axe into forestry. He's also getting his textile upgrade, which of course for the Delhi is completely free. Just going to continue with survival techniques for the moment. Keep in mind the mining camp did get burned down, so there's not going to be any specialized pick coming through just yet. Villagers actually falling away from this position. Looks like they're going to be jumping in to actually take out a couple of the spearmen. Smart move right there. So very effective use of that. And now we can see that the spearmen are stuck on the other side of the wall here. So we're just kind of in this bit of an awkward spot. Now he could pull these scouts to go and attack this down, but unfortunately the spearman's going to make it to the outpost. Going to begin attacking. So now we see the response. It's going to be that archery range that comes out. I suspect we're going to see just barely a handful of archers here. But remember, the Delhi player, what's his idea? What's he going for? Interesting gold mine. Okay, there we go. Ideally what he wants to do is look to try and take down those sacred sites as quickly as possible. That's going to be the big factor for him. Villagers actually getting pulled now as well. So not even going to be making a stable, not going to be going into professional scouts at all. We can see him actually picking up horticulture. Villagers going to be careful here, not to be taken out by those spearmen, but he is going to be able to clear the outpost. And all because of that villager being taken out, the rush stops. And because that rush stops, that outpost rush stops, he doesn't have to think about that stable. So a super smart move there from Casva, just to be investing at this point in time in the archery range. Villager trying to escape out, but Khan going to be coming through here, just pushing down a whole bunch of arrows. Nice little wall comes through as well. He's going to be able to stop any sort of aggression coming through onto the other side of the wall. Khan will fortunately get away, and even if he doesn't, well, you guys know exactly what happens. He's just going to respawn. But we'll check in over on the other side of the map. We'll see how Casva is doing. Actually going to be looking to take out a couple of these deer out over on the eastern side. So obviously, we saw earlier that Casva had a lot of the sheep. And so it means that Wham's got to start thinking outside the box. And for him, the box, unfortunately... Is he still out here on these berry bushes? Khan did eventually go down, but it will respawn. It will respawn, so do not fret, do not worry. I know that some people would be tempted to call GG from that, but no, that is not the case. Villager did eventually move back in. It looks like a gur is going to get placed down on these berries. So not going to be opting for any pastures. This is going to be the third gur he's placing down. This is a lot of gurs coming down at this early stage. So big investments coming in. And I definitely feel like he's nowhere near as close to aging as he would like to be at this point. And I think that's largely because of missing out on the sheep. Obviously, the deer, they're going to come in handy, but the reality is it's just going to take a little bit longer for him to start reaping those benefits, reaping those rewards. But we'll take a look at the upgrades and see how he's done. So it does look like we have yet to pick up the wheelbarrow. But we'll tune back in over on Casva's side. We'll see what he's up to as well. And whether he looks to play a bit more of a heavy feudal age play. Blacksmith going to be coming down for him as well. So just going to be sticking with the archery range and the stable. Very, very common composition here out of these guys. Now, one of the things to remember is that Wham's going to be looking for that age 3 timing. So what unit is he going to be going for? Once he hits that third age, what's he going to be looking to do? Number 1, he's going to be looking to go for lancers or look to go into men-at-arms. That's going to be a big factor, and try and look to keep his enemy in his base. Number 2, he's going to make sure that he prevents these sacred sites from being taken, and we can see those arrow slit outposts already coming up on 2 of the 3 sacred sites. And number 3, he's going to be looking to capture up relics. Both of these civs love to get out on the map and take out relics as quickly as possible. So it's going to be really important that is what Wham is focusing on. But now we can see Casva starting to do a little bit of a push out here. Not a lot of siege in this army, but still more than enough siege to be able to be able to cope with the outposts on those sacred sites, on the condition that there's no units that are in there. Obviously, once that bad boy goes up to 5 out of 5, it's a different story. But speaking of different stories, it looks like Wham is looking to begin the next chapter of his, as the step rate out is now going up. He's going to be focusing on getting up to the third age. So that's all par for the course at this point. Back over towards Casper. We now see that he's got the scholars moving out. Now, one of the interesting things to note here is that even if you put your outpost on this sacred site and you bring 2 scholars over here, or rather, if you bring a scholar over here, the outpost can shoot the single scholar. But guess what? It can't kill 2 scholars. That's the key here. So he can move forward with these scholars. He's going to be able to tank up damage from the outposts, and he's not going to have any problems at all, just simply because of the scholars. And it's a smart move coming out from him, because a lot of lesser players, myself included, would look at this and go, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push out to each sacred site 1 scholar at a time, or just with 1 scholar on each site. And you know what happens then? You lose scholars. That's what happens. But instead, looks to push out with 4 scholars here, and secures this, guarantees this sacred site. Loses a couple reinforcements, a few horsemen on the backside, able to take out an archer. Stepping out now, coming up. Outpost going to be going down on that bad boy as well. Units now coming into queue for Wham. We see it's going to be double stable, and this is going to be scouted out by Casper. He knows that it's double stable on the Uvu, so he knows, okay, you know, if it's double stable on the Uvu, then that means we're going to be seeing Lancers here. So he needs to do everything he can to prepare for that. We do see a barracks now coming down for him. And the question is, how long does he look to stay in Feudal Age? Because that can be one of the things that sets you apart in this matchup. If you have a longer Feudal Age, then you're going to be a little bit safer, because it means that you're going to be able to get out a decent number of those spearmen. But you've got to be careful, because if the men-at-arm numbers start getting or coming in too thick, then you've got a problem. By the same token, food really becomes an issue in this matchup. It's all about controlling your food. And when we take a look at the food for Casper, not in the best position. He's got 2 forward berries. He does have the deer that are behind his town center, so that's going to be a big factor. We'll look to see if he takes that. But now looking to secure up a second sacred site. Scholars moved up towards the north. And now we begin to see walls coming down in the middle of the map as well. So really looking to hold on to this sacred site. Knights, or Lancers rather, are going to be coming out, and things aren't looking good for Casper. He's close to aging though. We can see he's sitting at 1,000 food at the moment, about 200 gold, so still not the way, but we do see a single Lancer going to be coming in, going to be able to clean this up very easily. Double Lancer now moving out over towards his sacred site. You can see he's trying to get over here in time. It fortunately does capture for Casper. That's going to guarantee that he's got that income steady streaming on the way in. And now down towards the south, we see more villagers. It looks like there might be a potential boar getting taken here. Now, keep in mind, these villagers, he's going to have to micro these perfectly. He's going to have to micro these immaculately if he wants them to survive. One of them does go down. Second one almost going down. Third one going to get focused down. I don't know if he's got enough villagers here. I'm starting to worry for him. 2 villagers going to get microed away. 3 villagers. Oh, this is not good. This could be a huge mistake right now. Another villager going to be going down. Boar manages to survive. That is close. That is really close for comfort right there. I'm just going to give you a hint, Wham. 5 villagers ain't enough to take a boar. I mean, sure, you got it at the end of the day, but whew, that was a close call, my friend. Age 3 now coming through for Casper. It's going to be the compounder, the defender. Drop down in the back of his base. Nice and safe back there. Keep in mind, we do have just a single blacksmith out for him, as well as a market coming down. But now he's looking to hold on. He's got just a handful of spearmen in the base at the moment. We'll do a unit check and just see where he's at. He's at 5 spearmen at the moment in the center. On the central sacred site, it's still walled up completely, but he did lose that last archer. Northern sacred site was captured. Another outpost going to be coming down here. Keep in mind, he's got the boar that he's captured. We'll take a look back in the base and expect to see a monastery coming out shortly. There is the monastery, or the prayer tent, that is coming out. Also see that market there, so he'll be looking to get into a second town center as well shortly, as a potential option. Keep that in mind. Always going to be a potential option. Raid going to be coming through on the backside. Apologies for missing that one. Keep in mind, you guys see the bigger minimap. I don't see the bigger minimap. I'm playing with this tiny little minimap over in the corner. My mouse, you can see the difference in scaling between them. It's probably about half the size, but Lancers almost getting caught out of position. Fortunately, able to make their way around back towards the front side. More Lancers coming in, and this is what the timing is that is so damn scary. It is this timing of Lancers. So one of the plays one of the styles that you do sometimes see is these Delhi players looking to build up a massive, maybe 10 to 15 spearmen just in feudal age, and then look to go to castle, because otherwise there's the potential for them to get overwhelmed. But it looks like today he's going to be able to hold on still up towards that central sacred site. He is under attack, but not a significant threat. Going to continue giving him a bit of a runaround now with the Lancers. Scholars also out on the map, looking to pick up or rather, Shaman's out on the map looking to pick up those relics. That's going to be the first one that gets picked up. Still got 4 out here. Lancer guarding the first of the relics over on that west side. Spearman getting some nice trades in. Not yet to see that veteran upgrade coming through. It's going to be about another 2 minutes before it happens, which is why those Spearman numbers are so important to have, really critical mass numbers. We'll take a look and see whether we see any scholars moving out on the map. Indeed, we do. A scholar from Casper going to be heading out towards that western position. A couple more now moving out as well. Going to be looking for his safe one, and then also out over towards this one. Does have the sprinkled in placement, so should be able to snag this one away. I don't know where the Wololol is. I don't know where the Wololol is. There it is. It's down towards the south. Sorry. That one confused me a little bit. I couldn't really hear it. Maybe because it was down so close to the south. And you can see how well Casper's looking to guard this one up now. Scholar just staying on the backside, just being very careful. Looks like a house going to be rushed up here. It might be very close to population capped. Unfortunately, looks like the first Scholar is going to be coming out. Shift click back, takes another shot. He's able to bring this down a little bit further. Might be able to send out another Scholar. Probably going to be losing this one, but he's managed to close the gap here. At least bring that relic a little bit out. Villagers got to be careful here. They're trying to get that down that outpost. It looks like he may have overchopped through the wood line as well. Villagers going to be jumping back inside. He'll need to get another Scholar out there as soon as possible because there is a Shaman. Surely there is a Shaman that is going to be on the way. There it is. Shaman coming back for him. We see those Lancers going to be falling back. Sacred Site in the middle did get neutralized eventually. And you can see the position right now for Casper. He's definitely given away a lot of that feudal strength. And losing that feudal strength has guaranteed, or not guaranteed, but has meant that he has thrown away 2 of his Sacred Sites. He definitely had the options in the early stages of the game to look to play it a little bit heavier. Scholar going to be coming out, capturing the Sacred Site. Shaman going to be able to pick up that first relic. Next one over on the other side taken as well. So I think at this point in time, we're going to be pretty close to a 4-1 relic split. Meanwhile, in the base for Casper right now, he's looking to hold on. He's got Lancers that are out. Keep in mind, he's got his +1s already through here. No +1s coming through just at the moment for Wham. And things looking good at the moment for Casper. He's managed to keep his head above water. We'll do a quick village account and see where we're at. 44 for Casper, 53 for Wham. And keep in mind, he's got those relics as well that he's going to be working towards. 2 in the bag for him. 1 back on the way. Second one on the way back as well. So that's going to be a total of 4 relics. So only the 1 relic back here. Let's see if we can find it. It should be in the monastery. It's not actually. I don't know where it went. That is concerning. That is concerning, but now those Lancer numbers starting to look good for Casper here. So we're seeing double Lancer comps coming out. Crossbow's going to be also coming out here for Wham. He knows the way that Casper likes to play it. It's a cavalry-based composition, and he forces him back away from it. Manages to take out a couple of Lancers as he does it. Almost takes out a 3rd one as well. And now going to be falling back. And so the question is, where does Casper go from here? Because we can see he's going to be investing in his own crossbows in this position, but you can't help but feel that he's behind. Second town center is now up for Wham, and Wham playing this just absolutely perfectly. He's denied the Sacred Sites. He got a pretty good opening here in the beginning, was able to take out 2 villages. He's then subsequently landed that into getting 4 of the relics on the map. We see the 3 in there now, 4th one coming in at the moment as well. And then obviously leverages that into a second town center, and I think that's really what makes the difference here. Wham is looking very, very good. Also trying to capture the Sacred Sites. Very, very cheeky, Wham. Nice little raid coming in, and at this point in the game, I gotta be honest with you, Wham is looking in top-tier form. It looks very difficult for Casper to be able to pull this one back. So if he's able to find a way back into this game, I would be interested to see it, because when it comes to playing as the Delhi, you're leveraging a number of things. Number 1, it's holding Sacred Sites. Now, he hasn't been able to do that. Number 2, it's taking the relics. He hasn't been able to do that either. And so it really begs the question, what has Casper got going for him at this point in the game? And in my opinion, the reality is just not a lot. I mean, obviously he's playing Delhi. He could be looking to play maybe into Elephants, and Scholar spam. That could be one of the ways that he gets back into this game. But even then, I feel like Lancer numbers are just going to be something that really destroy him. But we'll watch to see how Wham reacts now as the attack comes down towards the south side here. He's looking to clean up a couple Lancers, but cognizant of the fact veteran Spearmen are right there next to it. And we can see them coming across. And now going to be throwing away those Lancers. A little bit of a misplay right there by Wham. But fortunately, those villagers looking to try and sprint their way away. They got those Yam network. They run extra damn quick. Managing to get them into the second outpost. We do see reinforcements coming down for him, so he's going to be able to keep those villagers alive, and we in fact see Casper falling away from that position, continuing to get through upgrades. Keep in mind, only the 1 blacksmith as well, so those upgrades are going to trickle in really, really slowly. And we do hear a relic being picked up. I'm not sure exactly where it was. it was just right there in the base. So it's just going to be the 4-to-1 relics, and that's never a split that you want to have as the deli. Ideally, worst case scenario as the deli, you want to be 3-2 on your relics, but now we hear crossbows getting picked up in the middle. This is a little bit of a misplay here from Wham. So at the same time going for a raid down towards the south, so things not looking the best for him. This cleanup is definitely what Casper needed, but keep in mind, at this point in time, Wham is scaling. You know, normally we talk about Wham, we talk about his trading, but not today. Wham is not trading. No, he's scaling 68 villages compared to the 50 of Casper. We don't see a second town center out just from Casper just yet, and that would be very, very atypical if we did. I think that's the correct usage of the term. It would be very strange if we saw a second town center out of Casper. He normally likes to play 1 TC style or 12 TC style. That's the way Casper likes to play it. He commits either, you know, heavily to one side or heavily to the other. Towards the north, we see more and more sacred sites being taken. An outpost going to be coming up as well. Looks like the hold occurs on the sacred site, and with that, he's going to be able to pick up the first of his sacred sites. Second one slowly but steadily coming up. Outpost also coming up. Spearmen, as well as horsemen and lancers moving up towards this position. They've also sealed up this wall. Keep in mind there is a bit of an opening down towards the south, even though technically not an opening. Raid coming through, and just a nice little spearman raid. Casper at this point in time behind significantly, 78 compared to 97 population. That's a big difference. We don't see the sacred site actually getting captured there. Oh no, I apologize. It is actually captured. So he doesn't mind if he loses his scholar because he's going to be getting the income from it anyway. Villager did go down. And now we'll take a look back towards the base of Casper. Plenty of pastures, or rather to the base of Wham. Plenty of pastures here. A little bit of a misclick right there on the shaman. And a lot of forces moving out towards the middle, so looking to fight over this. At the same time, doing a really decent job of just pushing forward with these outposts. Villages are going to be going down, though. So unfortunate there for Wham, throwing away a couple of villages. Things still looking decent for him, though. 71 villages compared to 54. So he's got not only an 18 villager lead right now, or a 17 villager lead, he's also got that 3 relic lead, which is a big factor. And remember, that continues to trickle for the entirety of the game. And that's something that people often will not consider. But, you know, we're 21 minutes into this game right now. If it goes to 41 minutes, then you're talking about an extra, you know, 300 times 20 minutes. We're talking about 6,000 gold. That's a lot of gold. What can you do with 6,000 gold? You could probably buy a necklace. That's a nice amount of gold. But now Casper going to be looking to utilize that compound of the defender. Keep in mind, he's got that. So it means cheaper keeps out on the map. Looks like Crossbow's going to be pushing forward here. It could be a bit of a keep drop that comes down for Casper here, which could definitely be a pretty decent move for him. The composition here, Spearman as well as Crossbows, is honestly a nice Spearman, a nice comp. I do like this, but the one concerning thing is if this gets spotted, or if Wham puts 2 and 2 together, all he says is, I'm going to just drop down 3 more archery ranges, and I'm just going to make archers. And that's all we're going to do. I'm going to go into veteran archers. Let's see if he's doing that. It's going to be a mangonel instead. So looking to head towards siege. No improved siege engineering here just yet. We hear behind this, raids coming down. Villagers continuing to run away. And Casper pushing forward now. He's got to be careful. A couple of the mangonels are going down to be built at the moment. Still got 1 in queue. And Casper behind this. The question's whether he's going to be pulling villagers. Indeed, he is pulling villagers. He's going to be falling back away from this position. Crossbow's getting a little bit surrounded there. You can see both players actually going for the exact same composition. So Spearman as well as Crossbowman to look to try and deal with those lancers. And we see the first of the keeps getting dropped down here for Casper. This could be the road to a steady recovery for him. Keep in mind, he's at a significant villager deficit. The key right here is for him to be able to put the nail in the coffin of his enemy. Still overwhelmed at this point in time. Keep going to be coming up, but it looks a little bit doubtful that it's going to be able to get that one up. You can see the crossbow standing here, but he's going to be falling back here. A curious decision to fall back. Mangonel also going to be coming out. I guess the reality is that at this point in time, even if this keep gets up, Wham still has the tools to deal with this. You know, typically you'd see this keep and you'd go, oh no, it's a keep. What do? I have to drop a siege workshop and I have to wait for that. And then I have to queue a trebuchet and then I have to wait for that. And then the trebuchet has to move into position. No, the reality is right now that Wham has got everything he needs to begin making trebuchets on the front line right now. So that is a significant advantage for him in dealing with this. And part of the reason I suspect why he actually let this keep get up, because he said, well, you know what? I'm just going to make a trebuchet. And we begin to see the first trebuchet rolled out and beginning to attack within, what, 20 seconds, 30 seconds of this keep actually coming up. So I think it's a smart move from Wham to actually let that keep get up. But one of the things he's got to be careful of is that if there is, you know, overwhelming amounts of keeps, remember, they don't take any sort of, they don't cost any population. So you can just go spamming these bad boys around everywhere, and it can be really annoying to deal with. We'll check in with Wham and see how he's doing. We'll take a look from his perspective. You can see the outpost coverage on this map is pretty decent, and he continues to extend it. Did lose the villager out over towards the north side, but now looking to build more and more trebuchets. We actually see the mangonel numbers looking pretty decent. 4 trebuchets at the moment. 1, 2, 3 mangonels. And a single spring eld going to be coming out. Casper going to be trying his best to hold on to this position with a single spring eld. You can see another spring eld going to be coming out. Villagers getting pulled, looking to do a bit of a repair right now. But you can see the way that he's playing. He is... it's not looking pretty right now for Casper. Let's just say that much. Trebuchet going to be coming out as well. And the big factor here, I think, is needing to get more keeps down, but also going into Trebuchet. So it's almost like he's got competing priorities. Trebuchets and mangonels looking to focus down this Springald. Springald got to be careful here because even the nice little micro there from Caspar. That was impressive. Look at the way that he's microing this Springald, but unfortunately Springald loses its life. 3 Springalds over on the enemy side going to be able to take it out there. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's only 2 Springald shots. 2 Springald shots at the same time will kill a normal Springald. The exception obviously being the Clock Tower Springald. But Caspar now going to be looking to hold on in this position. It feels like it's a little bit all or nothing. If we do a check right now, you can see he's on 58 villagers compared to Wham on 94. So significant economic disadvantage, or economic advantage rather, to Wham. But now looking to hold on, we see more units heading over on that east side, looking to find a bit of a raid, step it out, moving out towards the large gold vein that spawned in the corner here. Great little spawn there for Wham. It is going to get found out though by Caspar if he's lucky, and indeed he does run over towards that position. Keep still going, still up at this point in time. Trebuchet going to be losing its life, and at the same time the Springalds that moved in towards this position, only one of them dies. So trading off a Trebuchet, or trading off a Springald for a Trebuchet, that's a pretty damn good trade. I'd take that any day. Spearman coming out, looking to catch this position. Not going to be able to come up with anything. Fortunately, those knights going to be able to get away, and Casper trying his best to hold on in this position. Villagers losing this keep on the front line. And remember, if this keep does go down, this is a difficult position for Casper to push into, because this was his holding ground. This was his anchor point. And once this anchor point falls, he's got nothing, because his enemy's just going to be able to continue the push down towards his base. And with the push coming down towards his base, there's absolutely nothing to stop it. Sure, there's a keep back here, but it's not about that, because remember, the scaling right now is in Wham's court. Wham is on 2 TCs. Wham has got the 4 relics. Wham, the longer this game goes on, the longer Wham has or more likelihood that Wham has of winning. So that is a big factor, and Good Game just gets called. They don't even wait for the final fight. Casper realizes that and subsequently resigns. So I got to agree with his decision to resign here. I definitely don't think this was a position that was winnable from here. Obviously, he agreed with that statement. Now, obviously, this game is live as well, so we can jump in and take a look at the end game and see exactly how far apart these guys were. You can see the villager count there, the military count as well, looking absolutely crazy. And towards the end, the total resources. I mean, total resources pretty irrelevant, I think. When it comes to society, I love to check that average idle villager time. And we can see average villager idle time of 24 seconds. The lowest, or the highest, was 133 for a Casper. So a lot of idle time there. Quite a lot of raids at this level, so that's why you do see that. Fellas, I hope you've enjoyed this return to 1v1 gaming. There's going to be plenty more content that comes up on the channel that's going to be surrounding this 1v1. So I hope you're looking forward to it. I am. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.